Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. Well, guess what? It's Thanksgiving and this is part 2 of my little Thanksgiving food prep. Well, we have our turkeys. They were sitting in the refrigerator overnight. I've had them out for at least an hour. So one thing about turkey, make sure you pull it out a while before you cook it. You want to get it up to closer to room temperature. My cooking method today is I'm going to do mine on my grill outside with my rotisserie, okay? So I've got my skewer with my prongs for both sides. So what I want to show you is this one here. This goes to the motor, okay? And I've learned over the time that you want to go out and measure that with your motor to the inside of your grill before you put your turkeys on. And the reason why is otherwise you're outside trying to adjust this while it's on a warm grill. So get this one set first, put your first breast on or your whole bird and put your other cage on. I just call them cages. So let's go outside and show you what that looks like. Okay guys, I'm out at my grill. So I have a Komodo Joe grill and I have the rotisserie system set up for this. The motor's already set up. I've got it set up with the power. The square peg goes in there. This other part here, this rounded edge with a point, goes on this side here, okay? So you want to be in toward this middle a little bit more. So your turkey breast will be here, the other one will be about right here. But you don't want to be too far in. So I'm going to go in probably about 4 inches in from the edge here. I think that'll be perfect. And then just crank it on. So now you're set for your setting. And then let's turn the motor on, just make sure everything's running. And there you have it. Okay, so let's go mount our birds to our skewer. Okay, back inside. Got my skewer set. Stick this first skewer inside and then push it tight into the cage. Okay, just like so. I'll take my other bird and I'll slide it upside down into the other breast, just like so. Okay, I'm going to push it together nice and tight with the other cage on there. So let's slide that on there. Push it in really tight. Just leave them sit here. You can let them warm up a little bit more. It's a really good idea, again, to have your turkey up to close to room temperature before you bake them or cook them. So I'm just going to let them sit on this tray. I wanted to talk about the juice that is from my turkey overnight in the pan. I'm putting it in a bowl. I'll use it as a baster. So another thing you're going to need, you'll need a thermometer. Now this is a very basic dial thermometer. There are many different thermometers out there. You can get those really nice little digital guys. Okay, so one other thing I'll share with you. I like to keep a diary. So every year I do Thanksgiving or I do Christmas, I write everything down in a notebook and I keep it in my kitchen. I write down what the holiday is, the date, and then I write down who the guests are, the menu, and what is in the menu, and then a lot of times I'll write down my recipe. So I can go back to it and say, well, if I use 4 pounds of potatoes, how much milk did I use? Or how much butter? Or how much sour cream, right? So that's it. Another little detail I like to write in here is prices. Like how much did I pay for my turkey? How much turkey did I use? I think they're all really beneficial for your planning for your next holiday meal. So let's go out and check on that grill, see how we're doing right now. So that's cowboy charcoal I'm using. And then here's my cherry wood I'll put on there. But I'll throw those in there when this kind of calms down a bit. I don't want the wood to start on fire. I just want it to smoke. So I'm going to shut my lower vent down a little bit. Close the top down. Close the top vent down a little bit. And that'll calm that heat down a little. So we're pretty much ready to get those turkeys on. And it's just about 11 o'clock. I'm going to get them rolling. We want to eat around 3. I'm going to let my turkey rest for at least 45 minutes. So I think we're in good shape. It takes about 12 to 15 minutes per pound. so that's an estimate you can use. But I want the grill to run around 300 to 325. If it's up there closer to 400, that's too hot. It will get the skin nice and crispy on the outside, but I don't want it to cook too fast. It'll dry out, so nice and slow. Slow and low, perfect turkey. All right, let's get back inside and grab those turkeys. Okay, I got my turkeys outside. Now my grill's staying right about 325, and hopefully it'll stay that way. I think the vents are down where I need to be, so let's grab my turkey off my tray. Go this way. Okay, I was concerned about this side over here, but that was actually perfect. It's a little closer to this side, but I think we're going to be okay. And just make sure your screws are cranked in good, tight, and hit the button to turn your rotisserie on. There we have it. Okay, everyone, I'm back out at my grill, and you're probably wondering, hey, what happened to that hardwood you were going to throw on there? Well, I wanted to wait for everything to cool down a little bit so it wasn't so hot in here. And now I'm going to drop them in there. Drop them to the side. If they don't go to the side, use your little sticky thing and put it in there. You don't want the wood to start on fire. You want it to smolder. As you noticed, I just put regular dry hardwood on there. There's a lot of people that soak their wood. You don't have to do that. In the meantime, I can work on some gravy because that can hold, and you can actually reheat it. So just make sure you get it back up to 165 degrees when you reheat. So we're going to use whole butter. This is unsalted butter, and you can use salted butter. That's fine. Just be careful with your salt. But I'm also using this turkey stock, and I don't know how salty this is yet. So I'm going to use this unsalted butter. Put it in your small saucepan. 4 ounces of flour is close to 3/4 of a cup of flour, okay? I just used weight, so it's supposed to be equal parts. So let's show you how it works. Our butter is melting down nicely. I'm not trying to do it too hot. All right, so flour is going to be added next. So here we go. I'll do this without being too much in the way. Add all 4 ounces. Give it a nice stir. And that's what your roux should look like. Now, if you can't eat butter, you can use oil. And just let it cook. And we don't want a dark roux because we're doing turkey gravy. So don't let it brown, but you just want to let it cook nice and slow. I would cook this for at least 5 minutes. You want to let that flour cook in. I probably will let this cook a little bit longer only because I'm cooking it at such a low temperature. Now I've got 4 cups or 1 quart of turkey stock in this bottle. So let's check this out and we'll see what the ratio should be. You might have to add more liquid. I do have some chicken stock around, so I could possibly use that as well. Okay, that's approximately 3 cups. Let me check the measurement just to see. Ooh, I'm pretty close. Just gonna set that off to the side, add the remainder of my stock. Okay, so once you get your turkey stock in there, make sure that you are stirring often. I cranked up my heat a little bit more to get this up to a boil. I can feel it starting to thicken already. It's looking great. We're getting pretty thick now. I'm going to go ahead and add this other cup. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have too much liquid for my ratio. There we go. Add about half of that. Let it heat up a little bit more again. And then what I'll do is I will taste it. Like I said, I think I'm going to add a little bit of thyme to it, dry thyme. I've got some sage. I'll check the salt. And then I'm going to use white pepper in this. Okay, I really like the consistency of the sauce, but I'm going to add the rest of this cup. So 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of flour, and 4 cups of liquid. Then what I'll do is I'll season it. You can do whatever kind of seasoning you want in your gravy. You can leave it alone. Maybe it has enough. You want to use different kind of pepper. I'm using white pepper. I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. Heat it up a little bit, give it a little spice. I really like the taste of white pepper. All right, so we got some white pepper in there. I'll do the same thing with thyme. Do a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. And we're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of sage. Like that. Now I thought the salt level was close, but I do think I want to add a little bit of salt to this. So let's do also a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, there we go. And this is some sea salt. Okay. As I tasted this already, again, after it's been cooking for a little bit, I noticed the floury taste is dissipating, which is good. So that means you're cooking it out. Let's try the spoon here. Good. All right, we're just gonna let that simmer. I mean, you can taste flour just a little bit now, but very little. Okay, I'm out at the grill, and I am running exactly 325 at the moment. We are gonna do some basting now. So let's open her up. Holy cats, look at those turkeys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. They look amazing. So again, this is just the juice from the turkey with the seasoning. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay, there we go. Close her down. We'll go back inside, finish up our gravy. Okay guys, my gravy's basically done, so put a cover on it. I'm gonna set it off to the side. Okay, another 40 minutes has passed. I'm back out at my grill. Let's throw a little baste on them. And I gotta go grab my thermometer because I wanted to check these real quick to see kind of where we are. A little monitoring system here. Close her up. Okay, we are out to do a temperature check on the turkeys. So let's that spin around, give it a stop, push your thermometer into the thickest part of the turkey. Do not touch the bone. You don't want to be all the way to the bone. So this guy is at 140. Whew, we're doing good. That's 140 as well. So we're going to bring this up to about 165 and pull them off. Get on again. Let them cook. So let's talk about sweet potatoes and yams. All right. This is 4 pounds. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some butter to it. So I've got some salted butter, 2.5 ounces. Okay, slice it up. It's already softened because I've had it out for a while, which is fine. Now you can use margarine, you can use other butter substitutes as well, if you can't have whole butter. So if you have dietary issues, that's perfectly fine. Okay, now we're gonna put some salt and pepper on it. As you see, I got my pan lined with foil. Makes it a lot easier to clean later. All right, so let's take some salt. Use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle that over the top. And we want some black pepper on there. Take the cover off, make it easier. Black pepper, we're going to use a little bit less. We'll use a 1/4 teaspoon. There you have it. I'm back outside at the grill. That was 25 minutes since I last checked the temperature. So now my temperature on the grill outside is just below 300. At those guys. Let's turn this off. Turn out the rotisserie. Thermometer in the bigger part of it. Looks like it might get up to just under 150, so we're looking great. All right, let's give it a baste. Let's go back inside. I'm gonna place these in here. Okay. I'm gonna set my timer. 10 minutes for the sweet potato yams. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll take it out. I'll mix those potatoes up with that butter and salt and pepper, and then we'll cover it up and we'll let it cook. Okay guys, my timer just went off for my sweet potato and yams. It was in there for about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a mix. It smells very good. And let's put some cover on top. You can roll in these edges too, like so. And I got cover over the whole thing. Cover them back up. So 10 minutes open didn't do much. All it did was melt the butter. Okay, so you can't exactly include that in your complete cooking time. I'm gonna pop this back in there and I'm gonna set it for 40 minutes, 350, and 40 minutes we'll check it. Okay, I'm back out at my grill. Let's check our temp. Oh, man, the turkey looks good. Yep, we're right about the 160 range. And voila. Beautiful. Okay guys, I got my turkeys off the grill, and again it took about 3 hours and 20 minutes roughly. So I've got a little remaining this basting juice I've been using. I'm gonna put a little bit more over my turkeys. So put that on. I'm not gonna pull that skewer out of there yet because it's hot. So I wanna let my birds rest, and then we'll take that out. So. Okay. Most important thing, let it rest. Do not try to cut into it right away. You'll lose all that nice juice. So let it rest, let all the juice distribute itself back throughout the meat, and you'll be ready to go, and you should have amazing turkey. Okay guys, so timer just went off for my sweet potato yams. Let me show you what that looks like. Pan's pretty hot, so I'm gonna move it to my board here. Cover it. And they look, I'll show you this here, I'll open this all the way up. Those are fantastic, and they're completely done. So now here's the deal. When I put these in originally, when I first put them in the oven, I had my oven set on bake. I baked them for 40 minutes and they weren't done. They were still firm. So I set my timer for another 30 minutes, but I put my oven on convection. Done, completely. But now that's 70 minutes. So you want to shortcut that, put your oven on convection the first time. Now what is convection? Convection's using wind, right? Air blowing around with a fan. Then you're increasing your temperature. That's what convection does. So if you have your oven set at 350, it's probably more about closer to 375 when that's how convection works. So then if you did that, you probably only need to have them in there for about 50 minutes. But anyway, they are done. So what I'm gonna do, I covered them back up. I'm just gonna set them back in my oven to keep them warm. Turkey's still here resting. I got potatoes over here working. My gravy's ready to roll. I got corn on. That's our Thanksgiving dinner. Just another little addition to this, as I had my gravy done quite a while back, I'm reheating it, right? I added more stock to it. So your gravy, as it sets up, will probably thicken. So I would probably say that we should maybe change that ratio of liquid to the roux. And I would say that I would do 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of flour, that's your roux. Cook that for about 5 minutes roughly, and then add 6 cups of liquid. So there you go. You get a perfect gravy. It's amazing. Okay everyone, I've let my turkeys rest for 1 hour. So I'm gonna check this out. I got a dish right here to carve my turkey into. Let's grab one of those turkey breasts off. Whew, it smells good. So, what you want to do is take your knife and you want to run it down along where the wing would be up in here, and bring it down along this breastbone here in the middle. Okay, cut down along there, just like so. Make sure you have a sharp knife. Then you want to carve in through the side here. So you come around where this wing would normally be. All the way down, connecting up with that middle point of that where the breastbone is. Just like so. And the breast will just about pop right off. I'll carve this and put it in my tray. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And then anything else that's left on here, I'll pull that, and that can go into soup, or we can eat that with this meal. So that's what I'll be doing with the turkey breast. So let's take this breast right here. Now the grain goes this way, so we're going to cut against it.
Let's cut right across. Like so.
Put that right into your tray. This. And there you go. What do I say? And continue. Okay, my rotisserie turkey is carved. There you go. Now, I'm not ready for it quite yet. We're still waiting on a guest to arrive, so I'm going to cover it with a piece of foil. Put it in my oven where my sweet potato yams are at, just to kind of keep it nice and warm. I'm going to work on some mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are pretty subject to everybody's likes. I'm doing sour cream, 2% milk, whole butter salted, pepper, and salt. That's it. Potatoes just came off, drain the water out. All right, I got 4 ounces of butter, room temperature. I'm going to put in, start with a half cup of milk. I'm guessing on ratios. I'm going to use a half cup sour cream. And again, this is all subject to your own liking. So you either can follow this recipe or follow one that you've already been using for a long time. This is how I make them. Okay, just like so. 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we'll taste it when they're mixed. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And get mashing. All right, let's give them a taste. Might have to add a little more salt. Yep. Sorry. 4 teaspoons. Are you writing all this down? Remember? Keep your diary. I got all my stuff written down. I like to do that so I know what I'm doing for the next time I do it. Beautiful. Here is the Thanksgiving spread. Oh my gosh, look at that. Amazing. Rotisserie smoked turkey breast, mashed potatoes, canned corn. I know, it's not really anything special. And sweet potato and yams. There you go, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a recap on Thanksgiving 2022. You know what? If you guys can do rotisserie turkey, do that. Now, again, I use turkey breast. I have 2 of them. You can use a whole turkey. Works the same way. You're just going to have to truss the legs, tie them up. Otherwise, they flop around. But that was like incredible. That turkey was so moist, it was unbelievable. Also, I let it rest for an hour, which is longer than I normally have ever done it. So I wanted to go longer than normal to just test that theory on how well it comes out. And honestly, it was fantastic. Mine turned out great. I'm happy with it. If you guys want to follow the video, perfect. My other tips on some of the stuff I did worked pretty slick. And I know it was a little whack-a-mole, you know, bouncing, the video bounces back and forth and what we're doing, but that's what cooking is. You're not just doing one thing and that's it. No, you're doing one thing and two things and three things. Multitask. You have to multitask. You have to clean as you go. Otherwise your kitchen is a disaster area, right? So, I hope you enjoyed the video. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. If you like the video, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and send me comments. Thumbs up. Take care, guys. Chef Leroy, and out.